Questions 21 through 25 of the 2003 Grade 8 AMC 8. The area of the trapezoid ABCD is 164 centimeters squared. The altitude is 8 centimeters. AB is 10 and CD is 7. What is BC in centimeters? So the first thing I'm going to do is drop a couple altitudes from B down to the bottom like that, and C down to the bottom like that. All right, and those of course are equal to 8. They're parallel to this 8 right there. And very similarly, these are right angles, just like the one that they gave us. And using Pythagoras, you can figure out that side and that side. So this side right here, if you want to call it y squared plus 8 squared is 17 squared, correct? And therefore y squared is 17 squared minus 8 squared. And if you do the math here, you'll get y is equal to 15. Right there, 15. And very similarly, we can figure out that length. We call it x. X squared plus 8 squared is equal to 10 squared. And therefore x squared is equal to 10 squared minus 8 squared. And x will therefore be 6. So x is 6. And then BC is what we have to find out. I don't know what it is, so I'm just going to call it A. And therefore this length down here is also A. That's a rectangle. Now the area of a trapezoid is calculated as follows. So if you had a trapezoid like this, and this was A, and this side was B, and this was height, the area of a trapezoid is A plus B divided by 2 times the height. All right? So if we use those numbers that I just figured out, our area will be this guy, A, plus B, which is the entire length of the bottom right there, which looks like 6 plus A plus 15, correct? All over 2 times the height. And what's the height? It is 8. And that area, we are told, is 164. So I can put 164 there. And then now we just solve. Solve for A. So let's say we have 164 times 2, this 2 right there, divided by 8 is equal to 2A plus 21, like that. This side, 164 times 2 divided by 8 is 41. 2A plus 21. 41 minus 21 is 20, is equal to 2A, and therefore A is equal to 10. So 21, the answer is B. The following figures are composed of squares and circles. Which figure has a shaded region with the largest area? All right, let's do this one at a time. This 2 is the side of the square. So the square is basically going to be an area of 2 times 2. And then you have to subtract from it the area of the circle, which is pi r squared. And that will give you the area of the shaded region, AS. 2 times 2 is 4, and pi r. What is r in this case? Well, if this is the center and this is the radius, it will be half of that, right? Because the diameter is the full distance of 2. So the radius is 1. So there you have it. You got 4 minus pi. And if you really want, I can make this 0.86, right? Because pi is approximately 3.14. All right, let's turn our attention to B. In B, the area of the shaded region will be the square again, which is 2 times 2. This time, minus 4 of those circles, 4 pi r squared. I put a small r there this time. 2 times 2 is 4, minus 4 times pi small r squared. Now, what do I put for r this time? Well, all the way across is 2, correct? And how many radiuses is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So 4r is equal to 2, and therefore r is equal to a half. So as a half is what you put in there this time. So this becomes 4 minus 4 times pi, and this is a quarter. So this again becomes 4 minus pi. And if you want in decimal, it will be 0.86, like that. All right, well, now we get to the last one. This time they're giving you 2, but it's the diameter of the circle, like that. All right? And if it's the diameter of the circle all the way across, like that, approximately, then this is also the diameter of the circle, this diagonal that I wrote. And if that's the diameter, then therefore this is x and that side is x, and we can figure out what x is. X squared plus x squared is going to be the diameter squared, correct? Using Pythagoras. So 2x squared is equal to the diameter squared. Diameter is 2. So we got 2 squared. So we got 2x squared is equal to 4. X squared is equal to 2. And therefore x is root 2. Like that. So now let's go back and figure out the area of the shaded region. This time it's a little bit different. It's the area of the circle, pi r squared, minus the area of the square. X squared, like that. So what's r in this case? Well, the diameter was 2, so r is basically 1. And then x squared, well, we did that already. It's right there. It's 2. So now we have pi minus 2. So 3.14 minus 2 looks like 1.14. So there you go. Which one of these is the largest? Well, it's this one right here, 1.14. And that was the area of C. So number 22, the answer is C. In the pattern below, the cat moves clockwise through the 4 squares and the mouse moves counterclockwise through the 8 exterior segments of the 4 squares, as shown. If the pattern is continued, where would the cat and mouse be after the 247th move? So this is the first move, second move, third move, fourth move, right? Fifth move, and so on. So cat is here, and then here, and then here, and then here. So when the cat is in the fourth move, the cat is here. So that means every time the cat is a multiple of 4, or the move is a multiple of 4, the cat will end up back in this position. So fifth move is here, which they illustrate. Sixth move is there, seventh move, eighth move. See what I mean? Every time the move number, I guess, is a multiple of 4, the cat will be here. So what we have to do is figure out, is 247 a multiple of 4, first of all? And it's not. 244 is. So this would basically be 244 and a remainder of 3. So it would be like 61 with a remainder of 3, like that. So we're going to get here, right here, but then we're going to have to go 3 more because it's a remainder of 3. So another move here, another move here, another move here. So if I were to write that in a little box, the 244th move, we'd end up here, right? Because that's a multiple of 4. This is the 245th, 246th, and then 247th. So the cat is going to be there in the 247th move. So in all our answer choices, where is the cat? Where does the cat in that position show up in our answer choices? A and C, correct? All right, so we got between A and C is our answer. Let's turn our attention to the mouse. And the mouse is a little bit different. Mouse starts here, and he is going on the edges there in a counterclockwise position, like that. Okay, so in the 4th position, he's here. And in the 5th position, he'll be here, 6th here, 7th here, 8th here. And then 9th here, 10th here, 11th here, 12th here. So in a very similar way, he's going to end up in similar positions for multiples. You see what I mean? So I'm going to go with a multiple of 8 on this guy. So I'm just going to start here because I think I messed up this. I got it a little messy here. That's okay. I'll start over here. This is the first position. This will be the second position, third position, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. And then this is the 8th. All right? So in the 8th position, he is going to be right here, right there. So I have to now go back and see, is 247 a multiple of 8? And it is not. but 240 is, right? So that's about 30, I think. 30 remainder 7. So he's going to end up here on position 240, but then he's going to have to go another 7. So that's no problem. Let's figure this out. Here is your mouse. So on the 240th, he'll be here. Correct? Because that's a multiple of 8. 241, 242, 243, 244, 245, 246, and this is the 247th position. So the mouse will be here. And between A and C, that's right here. The mouse is right there. So 23, the answer is A. A ship travels from point A to B along the semicircular path centered at island X. Then it travels along a straight path from B to C. Which of these graphs best shows the ship's distance from island X as it moves along the course? Okay, so this very important semicircular path. So that means that island X is the center of this semicircle. So at any point along this semicircular path, he is equidistant from the center. Do you see that? Everywhere. He's within, how far is he? He's always a radius away. So if that's radius, that's radius, that's radius. He's always the radius away. So as he travels from A to B along that semicircular path, his distance from X is always the same. So which one of these, distance from X, which shows that it's always the same in the first part? This one does, and this one does. And so does this, actually. All right. So we only eliminated A and C. I hope that made sense, right? No matter where you are along this semicircular path, you are always going to be the same distance from X. Okay. Now we get to B, and then things starts changing a bit. Notice, here, when you're at B, you're R away. And then the distance starts getting closer to X. And then eventually starts getting larger back to C. You see that? So that basically means that initially the distance from X is R. So if this is your graph, and you've got a distance from X, right? That's this part of the graph. Initially, when you are at point B, right, when you're here, the distance from X is R. So let's say that represents R. But then eventually you're going to get to C, and that's also going to be R. But in between, our distances, notice they get smaller. They get smaller, they get smaller, they get smaller down to this point. And it's minimum right there. That's the minimum. And then they start getting back up again. So basically, the distances from X, from B to C, initially it's R. It will get smaller and smaller and smaller. And then eventually it'll go back to C. So how do you represent that? It's basically a curve like this. This being the absolute minimum. And the first part, we were convinced, I hope, that the distance from A to B basically is always the same. So there you go, that's the combination. And the choice that best represents that for number 24 is B. In the figure, the area of square WXYZ is 25. The four smaller squares have side lengths 1, each parallel to or coinciding with the sides of the larger square. In triangle ABC, AB is equal to AC, and when ABC is folded over BC, point A coincides with O, the center of the square WXYZ. What is the area of ABC in square centimeters? All right, so a lot of information here. Let's fill out as much as we can. This square has an area of 25, so that means these are all 5s, the sides, right? Because 5 times 5 is equal to 25. And then they tell you that these smaller ones have an area, or they tell you the side lengths actually are 1. So this is 1, this is 1. You get the point. They're all 1s. Okay? Like that. And then what else did they tell you? They tell you that AB is equal to AC. So that means that this is an equilateral triangle. AB is equal to AC, like that. And then they tell you that when you fold this over, basically it's like a flap. This A will come and meet right there. That's O, but that's where A ends up. Okay? So that basically means that the distance from A to here is the same as the distance from that point to O, right? That's the only way that A could ever land on O. So I'm going to call this distance H right here. I'll color it in red like that, okay? And that's the same as the orange line in terms of its length. Okay. And then notice that since these are all 1s and this is 5, that means this distance in here has to be 5 minus 1 minus 1, correct? Because this is the same. This is also 5. So that means we got 5 minus 1 minus 1. So this distance in here, which I will draw in red, from B to C, has got to be 3. All right? So now where do we go from here? Well, we just need to figure out H, and then we can figure out the area of ABC. How about this distance from here to here, that distance that I just drew in red? Well, I hope you can see that that is 1 plus 1. This is 1, this is 1, and those represent the same length. So this is 2. And then how about the final distance? This distance right here, this red line. Well, O is the center. If O is the center, then basically, if that is 5, and we were to draw a line from the center to 5, it would cut that in half. So this would be 2.5, and this wouldn't be 2.5, correct? So this is 2.5. So if this is 2 and this is 2.5, that whole length from there to there is 4.5. And that entire length is basically what is H, because that's the only way A can ever land on O, which is what the question tells you. So there you go. You've got BC is equal to 3, and you've got H is equal to 4.5. And now we can figure out the area of triangle ABC. 1/2 base times height, which is 1/2 3 times 4.5. And if you want to put this in fractions, this will be 3 over 2 and 9 over 2. So this looks like 27 over 4. And therefore, number 25, the answer is C.